Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is day 6 of our Git for DevOps series. In last video, we have seen like what branch are in Git, how we can create the branch, how we can switch, how we can check out the branch, and all these things we have seen. Then we have discussed about the head, what is head and how it looks like when we see the commit pointer. Then we have discussed the two types of strategy. One is the fast forward merge and the other one is the three-way merge. We have discussed what is the difference between these two types of merge strategy and how Git decide which strategy it has to follow. Then we have seen the examples or maybe the demo for both merging strategy, the fast forward and the three-way merge. Then at the last we have discussed some best practices for the naming convention of the Git branch according to your use case. And that is what the standard follow because it will help you to in CI/CD DevOps pipeline as well, which we will discuss later in this course when we discuss about the GitOps. Then we have tried to see like what benefits we get from the good naming convention of the branches. And we have finished our uh, last video with the conflict. So today we will see what conflict is. We have seen that okay, if a developer is trying to update the same file at a time, right? And if both branches doesn't know each other, I mean the file changes, then it will raise a conflict. So that we will see in action today and how we can observe that conflict, and once that is there, how we can remediate or we can resolve the conflict in the Git. Okay, so let's start. So what I will do is, let me clear my screen. I will gonna create a demo day 6 and I will go inside and I will initialize the git init directory. Okay, and then I will quickly create echo first comment and I will redirect to one.txt. I will I think we need to update the email and then we need to update the name. Now I'm gonna add this and then I will gonna commit -m and I will say from master 1. So far so good, right? We have that one file in the master branch. Now I will quickly create one branch -b test1 and I am gonna modify this file from test1 and I will say one.txt. I will commit it -a-m from test1 and it is done. Now I will again come back to master. So far what we have done is we have created one file, we have added some content to that and we have committed to our local repository inside the master branch. Then I have switched to a branch called test1 and there I have modified the same file and I have committed to that branch. Now I back to the master. If you see here we don't have that content which we committed from the test1, right? Now let's commit from one more commit in the master, another comment from master and I will redirect to the same and I will commit it to from master, another commit from master. Fine. Now if you see we have the clean stuff. Okay, now I will gonna cat this file again. You can see now here we have this. Now if I'll try to merge the test1, it will reflect that conflict. You can see that. What it is saying is, you can see, let me take it to the notepad. What we have done is we have committed our change from the master. I think I have this plan in this here as well, in the merge conflict. Yes, when we same file were edited in both branches, that's where the merge conflict occur. Create a new feature, that's we done. Make changes in one file, commit, check out to main branch, make changes in the same file and commit. Now try to merge, it will end to conflict now, and that's what we can see in our screen as well. Right? Auto merging one.txt, it is saying conflict with with what? The content between one.txt file. Automatic merge failed because you need to fix the conflict and then commit the result. Because now Git doesn't know, right? Git, according to Git, what is happening is there are two content. One is in master branch and one is in the test one branch. So we need to find out, okay, which one is to finalize, and then we can put it to master branch. There are two ways you can solve the conflict. Either you can use the VS Code, right? You can use any kind of GUI tool. I will show you that as well. And there is one way is the terminal as well, right? But before we solve it, let's try to observe again it to this. If I just run git diff command now you can see, although we have one file, right? But what it is saying is I have two version of file, right? Within the index, I have two version. One is this one and the another one is this one. What it is saying is this is the original content of your one.txt. But when it is pointing to head, it is finding another line from this line. And when it is pointing to test1 branch, it is finding another stuff from this one. Right? So that's what it is saying. Okay, I have this conflict. There is one more thing. I think the command is ls files -s. Yeah, here you can see that. Here also it has a three version of file. This part can you see here? Let me highlight this. One, two, three. So this is the original content, right? Like if I just say git log, so here you can see that. It is pointing to which? It is pointing to that particular, because we haven't committed, right? But if you see this git cat files, I think hyphen p, right? Uh, it's hyphen l. One second. We need to find the cat file. Yeah, it's hyphen p only, right? But why it's crying? Not a valid object from this. Okay, cat file. Yeah, command is this only. I think we are in merge conflict, so that is the reason. It could be it is not showing you that stuff. Okay, it is showing you that okay, it is the tree and this is it, right? But this is from another commit from master. Why? Because yeah, the reason is okay, I chosen this one. That is because it is not committed, it is not staged, right? If you see the git status, so here you can see that we have that conflict, right? And it is both modified. That means that this file has been modified in the both branches. So that is the reason this is not a valid object name, right? That's what it is saying. But when you do this, right? Git cat file -p, and here you can see that it is this one tree and it is parenting to this one, right? If I just cat this parent, and it is pointing to this one. And similarly, if I run this ls file, so it is pointing to this one. Uh, this tree is pointing to this, and this is pointing to this from the master 1. And if we try to cat this file, right, it is pointing to this. Maybe it is confused, but I want to explain here the content. The content, the three version we have, right? It is pointing to this one. You can see that E39. And that is what Git knows so far. If I just git cat hyphen p, cat file hyphen p, and if I am gonna do this, you can see that first comment, right? Now Git knows, okay, I know this version which is the common across both branches. But what is happening is this is pointing to some other. If I just say git cat file hyphen p, so here you can see that another comment from master. This is the version of that file which master has, but it is not common across all. Similarly, if I do this for another file, which is for this one, test1, so here you can see this first comment is something that the common for across both branches. This comment is from only from the master, and this is from the which one? Test1. And that is why you can see that we have 1, 2, and 3. And this is what this conflict is. If I just try to, what it is saying is either you need to abort this merge. So what will happen is it will gonna finalize the master file as a final file, and it will not consider this as a modified. But if we need to, what if we need to resolve this conflict, right? So we need to finalize, okay, whether we need this comment, whether we need this comment, or whether we need both comment, right? There are chances maybe a developer, if they are not sync up, there are silos in between some teams, right? And they worked on the same file. So in that case, the conflict will occur, right? And when we are trying to merge, what will happen is it will say, okay, which one I need to finalize. Now you will say, okay, anyone can try to merge into the master, right? And if he wanted to prioritize his code, then he can just simply remove the code from the another developer and that will be done. No, my dear friend, in real DevOps environment, that is not the case. There we have the process, right? There we have the reviewer, there we have the approver, which will review your code, and then we have that daily stand-up call. There we will discuss, okay, I have done this, I have done that, and this is the final. And once that is finalized, the reviewer will finalize that code, and the conflict will be removed, and the merge will happen, right? So that is way that in real time it work. But now come back to here. We need to understand, okay, how we can do. So first we will see in the VS Code, right? In VS Code, how you can sudo. So in the VS Code, or maybe you have that another GUI tool. So what I have done is I have downloaded this file called, uh, come on, where it went? Here it is. This is something called Git Desktop. Okay. So here, what will I will do is I will gonna add this repository. Okay, this repository probably we cannot add. So I will show you this because that is something that inside the this virtual machine, right? And I cannot map that from this because this is installed in my Windows machine. It can only map to that what? It can map to that particular repository which is in github.com or GitHub Enterprise, or you have any URL. It could be local as well, right? But that's not the case. But I will show you how you can do. But let's try to understand first this one. Merge conflict, right? The solving merge in the terminal. How you can do, right? You can use any of the editor. As of now, if I just show this file, so here you can see that it is saying, okay, this is the first comment, right? And it is till here it is pointing to head. Now we have that in the head, wherever the head is pointing, where the head is pointing to master. In the master branch we have another modification for this file is this one, right? Then we have something called test1 branch, and there we have the modification called test1. Now if we need to figure out in the terminal which one it need to do. So what we can do is we can use any of the editor. I am gonna use a Vim editor, right? So let's say I want to keep this and I want to keep this, right? So what I will do is I will gonna remove this, and remove this. Clear? Now if I just do, and if I add this one.txt now, and now if I run git status, so here you can see that all conflict fixed, but you are still merging, right? So what we need to do is you need to use a git commit to conclude merge, right? Though conflict is resolved, right? If you see, we don't have any conflict now. But if you want to finalize your fixed, right, what you need to do is you need to commit -m, or maybe you don't need to do, just say git commit. It will ask you the message. What will happen is conflict was there, right? And you have done this. If I just say conflict resolved and I just want to save it. And here you can see the conflict is resolved. Now, if you just say git status, it will say everything is clean, working tree clean. Earlier it was saying conflict is fixed, but your merging is still, right? Now, if you see, you have this cat.1txt, and if I just, it doesn't mean that it will do that stuff in your test one. Test one still we have that another first commit, right? What you can do, either you can merge this from master, right? Or what you can do, you can update this file, right? Now you can see we have that the same file in the master itself. Now this developer will again start working on test one on another code, right? That way it is doing in the terminal. Now let's see how we can do the same thing inside our GUI or maybe in VS Code. So what I will do is, okay, I will go back and I will quickly create demo repo. I will go inside demo repo. By the way, this is a Git bash which I am using Windows version. And here I will just say git init. It is initialize. Okay, I will quickly do the same thing from master first commit, and I'm gonna do it cat.txt, right? And I will say git commit -a-m first commit from master. Uh, okay, it was not added. Let me quickly commit again. Okay, now if I just want to see, we have this and git checkout -b. I am gonna create the same. We have this file, right? And I am gonna from test1 comment, and I am redirecting to the same file, and I will say git commit -a-m added from test1. Now it's done. Now again back to master. Now you can see earlier we were on test one branch where we have done some modification. What we have added this from test one comment, which is not yet merged in the master. Now if I merge directly, it will do the fast forward, but that's what something I don't want. I want to create a conflict, right? So that we can understand how it can be resolved in the GUI mode. So let's make some other modification in master. Added from master another. Now we have this updated stuff. Okay, now let's try to add this first in our this one. So I'm gonna add this repository. I'm gonna choose that file. Okay, path for cloud, somewhere demo repo, and add this repo. As of now, it is working clean, right? You can see that we have one file and it has both stuff, right? If I'll see, I have the two branches, test one, where we have the from test one, and if I go to the master one, it is saying another comment from master, right? Now, let's try to merge this. Git merge test one. It is saying the same thing, right? Merge will occur. Now, if you are on terminal, you can go inside and you can just choose that what is the require. You can see that till here it knows. From head we have another, and from test one we have another, right? That is something that we are saying. Okay, this is from the test one. Now, if you go here, you can see here also it is saying resolve conflict before merge. So what you can do, you can use in command line or you can open in Visual Code, right? So in command line, we have already seen how you can do, but let's see in Visual Code. Now you can see it has opened that file here, and what it is saying, accept current change. If I'm gonna do this, what will happen is it will keep this. You can see another comment from master, right? Let me undo. If I do accept incoming change is this one, then it will remove this comment from master. You can see from master first commit and from test one comment. If you want both, what you can do? You can do this and it will keep the all three line. So it is up to you like how you want to do it, right? So in GUI, you don't need to delete manually. It will give you this kind of clickable option, which will accept current change means whatever in the master, it will gonna finalize incoming, which is coming from the another branch, and both, obviously, it will keep the both changes. Okay. So what I will do is let's keep both and I will just save it. Now, if you come back to this, it will say conflict has been resolved and continue merge, which we already done here. What it is doing is here, if you remember, what it is was saying is, okay, conflict was resolved, but you need to still merge. Then we have done a git commit and then we have the clean. So the same thing we need to follow here as well, right? I will say continue merge and it will done. If you go to the history now, you can see this is added from master another. This is the first commit from master, right? And this is from the test one. But this is the final file which we have seen from master and another comment from master. If I just want to see split. So here you can see this is the final command, but why it is not showing? It should show all three, right? Maybe it is not synced. Let me sync it. Here you can see. Now we can see the all three, right? So this is how that you can ref- uh, resolve your conflict if you have any, right? Only the thing is you need to identify which content, which piece of code you want to keep and which piece of code you don't want to keep. Once you have done, now if you see on the master branch also we have all three file, and if you go to the test one, there also you can see only two. The same thing, why? Because you need to merge. Remember, we have on test one we have merged the master and then we'll see this. Okay, now it is there. So that's how that you can keep your stuff here so that you can do this in the real time as well. All right. So that was the conflict, like how the conflict occur. And if it is there, then we have discussed there are two ways you can resolve your conflict. First, you need to identify, right? Okay. We have seen that git ls-s command we have seen, which is showing this one. Now, if you run this, right, it will just show you one version, right? Earlier it was showing three version, and we have identified what each version has what content, right? This way. So first you need to observe where exactly the conflict occur, and once that is there, then you need to find out, okay, which is the correct piece of code which you can publish, and then you can resolve your conflict either via GUI in the VS Code or either via the terminal. All right. So that's it for the day, guys. I hope you are familiar with conflict now. If you have any, then how you can easily resolve it. And if you like this help, right? So please support me to subscribe my channel and share it with your other guys as well, so that no developer will get fear of this conflict, because it is very easy, and it's a kind of common, right? Many times we ended with the conflict, but if you know how to observe, how to find out, then obviously the resolve is also a easy task. All right, so I will meet you in the next video where we will start the what is remote repo, and how why we need a remote repo, how you can create, what are the remote hosted platforms and everything that we will gonna discuss in the next video. All right. So yeah, that's it for the day. I'll take leave for now, and stay happy, stay learning. Bye bye.